are born with sinful desires. So, homosexuality, a man can be born with it, because it's just like in Romans it says that God gave them up into vile passions, men with men, women with women likewise. When he gave them up, it's a generational thing. He did not say, he wasn't speaking about a specific person. He's speaking about a generation that would get into this, to those things. They will be born with these desires. But as a Christian, Christians they rely on the power source to destroy that desire. You know, but that's in the in the Christian point of view. In the faith point of view, you have to believe. But it's gonna be hard for a secular person to understand. That the desires of this of the flesh are sleep. You can say dormant when one is in a relationship with God. They are asleep. And when one falls from that relationship, then those desires can take over the man once again. It's a battle in the inner man, and they have to fight
I
it with God. It's a battle.
Hey,
And even in the secular world,
excuse me
influences
for a second,
to the
Light.
mind
Excuse
can
me.
affect a
Hold on a
person.
second. Tonlock
For
and Theo,
if
are
a
you
person
there?
sees death
Hey,
and
Light.
Yeah, I'm
violence and
listening.
crimes
Yeah.
as a
Oh,
kid.
lights. Hold on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
what's
you
up,
please
Darth?
explain to me why Godless Girl was allowed on stage?
I don't know. This wasn't my room, to be honest with you. I just started listening. Someone else made me a mod. I have no idea.
Okay.
Well, I think that she's maybe coming around or whatnot.
Okay, then you are extremely naive and gullible, Theo.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
She's a pathological liar. Okay? Don't allow her ever to be on stage. Okay? And I'm done.
Uh, well, like I was saying, even in the secular world, we know that if you teach a kid violence from a young age, if you show kids violence from a young age, and when they grow up, they have a high risk of committing violence. Everything starts in the mind. That's why even in television and the things we see, they like to show us gruesome images, sexual images, subliminal messages, and whatsoever to desensitize the mind to make you do more vile, immoral acts.
So I want to
Even
ask, I want
of
to ask
course.
Tom this. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that to finish that Disney is a great example. Um, Disney shows kids subliminally for their subconscious images, sexual things, perverted things.
Oh, sir, it's even worse than that. Disney is blatantly grooming children to adopt homosexual and transsexual outlooks and practices. They're blatantly doing it now.
Yes,
Okay?
Disney, a satanic industry. So that
Yeah. They're blatantly doing it, and their executives have been recorded in online stream or Zoom calls admitting that they're precisely doing this in terms of, scripts, things like that, television production, characters. Okay, they're blatantly doing this.
Yep. At first it was subliminal, and now it's coming out to light. Disney's been doing this for a long time. Pedophilia, it's linked with Satanism. Satanism and pedophilia are like twin brothers and sisters. They walk alongside each other. Anytime you see a pedophile sex ring, a huge one, just know that there might be some Satanism involved as well.
Yeah.
The taking of the innocency of a child is something that they love, and virgins as well. They love those
So let
kids.
me ask this question, Ton. So would you say it's a sin to desire to do something, but you don't know that thing is a sin?
Uh, that's an interesting question. I would say. Well, I mean, ignorance of the law is no excuse. I mean, so
Mm.
I guess ignorance of whatever you're thinking about is not necessarily an excuse either.
But is it a sin though?
Possibly.
Because if it's a sin, then that means
I
Adam
would.
and Eve committed
Um,
the first sin before they ate their fruit.
I think
Yeah.
if you're unsure about it and you don't get clarification from like maybe
The eating of the fruit was an outward
Yes.
manifestation of their inward mental defiance by which they adopted autonomy. The eating of the fruit was an expression of their self-proclaimed
Yes,
autonomy.
and they became mortal when they ate the fruit, because the
Okay.
fruit
Okay.
had the power to make them mortal. Because, and that's clear,
No,
because
no, sir, that's incorrect.
that's incorrect. But why did he place the angels, right,
Okay,
to
listen.
blockade them
I
against the
look.
tree of
I will
life?
no. I
Because the
will
tree of
explain
life,
to
the
you.
fruit
I
of the
will
tree of
explain to
life,
you why.
can give them immortality.
I will explain to you why. Okay, they were blocked so that they wouldn't, by eating of the tree of life, they wouldn't permanentize in their physical condition the dispositional state that they were in.
Okay,
Okay.
but
Okay.
Darth, if they sin,
Mortal. Just listen.
first we
Listen.
have to understand, when did they sin? Did they sin when they ate
Okay,
the fruit, or did they
sir.
sin
Listen.
before
You're
they ate the
talking with
fruit in the
somebody who
mind?
was studying theology before you were even born.
Yes, but
Okay.
Darth, you agree that sin begins where?
Okay. So
In
you're
the
not getting
mind.
Lights,
this, are you?
In the
lights,
mind.
Okay.
don't interrupt. Don't like overtalk.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. The issue of death. Okay. The eating of the tree of life itself. Okay. Did not bring about death. The death that came upon it was that because it was imposed as a temporal judgment by God as a consequence. It wasn't that they intrinsically ate of the fruit that made them subject to death. The reason why they were subject to death was because God issued in his providence a judgment upon the planet and Adam and Eve and all animals that they are now subject to death. Were you thinking that eating the fruit intrinsically changed their biological dynamics?
Well, first I have to consider, when did they sin? Did they sin when they ate
Listen,
it, or did they sin?
that's already been addressed, sir. Can you answer my
So,
question? Can
but
you answer my question,
no, I'm
please?
gonna answer it right now. I'm gonna answer it.
Okay, okay.
Sin begins in the desire of a man, in the heart. So
No,
why did
sir, that's not the
they
question that
didn't
I
become
asked you.
mortal when they had the power?
Sir, you're not listening to me.
But Dolph, you're becoming
Listen
very,
to me. No, my
you're
name is
speaking.
Darth, not Darth.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Listen,
but
listen.
you're becoming really
I
emotional.
asked you, I get agitated that when I ask somebody a direct, clear question and then they start monologuing, not answering my question.
I was gonna answer it,
What was the question that I asked you?
but you lost me now.
Oh, so you don't remember, do you?
Oh, you lost me, bro. You just kept talking.
Yeah, well, bro, I'm old enough to be your grandfather.
Well, I'm
Now,
sorry,
I
bro.
asked you the question. You see, you're not focusing on responding to what I asked you. You're
Now,
focusing on monologuing. Now, I said, are you under the view that eating of the fruit intrinsically brought about death?
is it a yes or no question?
Is that your view?
Yes. Can I
Okay,
explain?
where do you get that from?
Okay, I get it from this. Man does not begin a sin in the action. They
No,
begin
no,
it
no,
in.
sir. I'm not asking you to give me
Oh
your
my,
theology. Where do you get that from in the Bible?
it's clear.
That what text can you point me to show that eating of the fruit intrinsically would change their biological state, rather that when they disobeyed God, okay, God then through his providence subjected to death to the world as a temporal judgment. Are you of the view that eating of the fruit intrinsically brought about death? Because if you do, then why did animals die?
Okay.
Did they eat the fruit too?
All creation was affected by the action of Adam.
Oh, so when they chewed on the food and swallowed it, that the swallowing of the food some mysterious force radiated out from their body, bringing death upon all the animal kingdom?
I mean, animals were not carnivores at
Listen
that
to
time.
me.
They were
Can you
omnivores.
can you answer? See, this is the problem in our
Yes, you're. Yeah.
conversation. I'm asking you very
Oh
clear
man,
and specific questions, and
I know.
you're coming back. You're not answering my question. You're giving me a little monologue like you're lecturing
But you're
me.
not trying to be understanding of what
Okay,
the.
you know what? Get out of here. You're moved back to the audience. Goodbye.